Okay, the last thing on the list is that he said the brakes were hanging up, which I've rolled around and checked the front brake. It needs to get tightened up, but that closes and releases just fine. But I'm looking at this back brake, and you can see the brake rod right here. There's a gap between that and the arm, I should say. So let me push that brake down. You can see that this arm is engaged forward, kind of. And I guess it's a pretty common problem for these KLXs that this rod gets seized up in the housing. It's supposed to rotate freely, and that's what's making it stuck forward. So let me work on taking the chain off, getting the wheel off, and we can pull this open and see what's going on inside. Probably because this brake is engaged. Yeah, that brake was engaged, that's why it wouldn't come out. So for sure, that rod, that pin in there is absolutely seized up. Let's get this hardware off of here so we can clean up that pin. It is on splines. There we go. So the top and the bottom are both spline, so to get it off of that top spline there, I had to loosen up the bottom part of this bracket to get it off of there. Now, does this indicator come off? Is this also splined? Yeah. Let's get some lube on those. That seems... did the trick. Alright, now we just need to spread apart these brake pads. Got your safety glasses on? Alright, so here's the pin we're after. We get a pliers and see if we can work that. Actually, set up a pliers. Oh yeah, that's quite stiff. Try getting some lubricant in there. Is that enough? More in there. You want that to spin super free so the springs of the brakes can return it. Alright, so I got this pin spinning pretty free. But I'm wondering, oh see, I can slide it right out now. And this, yeah, this is just a felt pad, felt gasket if you want to call it that. And you can see all the crap build up in there. And I'm sure they pack this with grease from the factory. That's all dirt now. So I'm going to get some brushes and I'm going to clean this up. Yeah. We'll get this all cleaned up and packed with grease and we'll reassemble it. Okay, so I got the pin cleaned up and the hole cleaned up as well. So now that spins in there the way it's supposed to be. So I'm just going to add some grease to this to keep future water and dirt out. I don't want to add too much because I don't want to get grease up into the brakes at all. Like so. Yeah, I'll clean that up. And put that belt back on. Saturate this with grease again, so that'll help hold it on as well. And voila! Let's reassemble this thing, huh? Alright, well I found it best to get the chain on, the tire tensioned, or the chain tensioned, tire mounted before we start adjusting these brakes. So we got our little needle pointer, I don't know if you can see that from your angle, at the usable range. That's marked on the side. I want to try this with this bracket straight up and down. So I think straight up and down is going to be our best bet. I'm going to tap this fully onto that shaft before we tighten it up. You might have to play around with this a little bit. Get a nut on the back. Alright, we got it all reassembled. Give it a test. And then your adjustment on the bottom here is where you're gonna get your fine tuning of how far you want that pedal to go down. So that's all good to go.